Hello guys and welcome to another Always on the Ball tips video. This week is round 16, the first round back without teams having byes. Last week I got 4 out of 6 tips, not too great, and 3 out of 6 Ollie's calls. Moving on to the first game, Thursday night, Gabba, Brisbane, Richmond. 7:20 p.m. Let's start with Brisbane. Good win over St Kilda. Wasn't most convincing, but pretty good win. Be happy with that if you're a Lions fan. They're third, 10-4, coming off 2 wins, which is good. Richmond, they're 12th, coming off 2 wins and the bye, 6-1-7. They had a win over St Kilda and a win over GWS, coming off a week off, looking quite strong now. They're definitely in the mix for finals. This is going to be, I reckon, an interesting game, but I reckon Brisbane are going to run away with it in the second half and win by 37 points at the Gabba, with my Ollie's call that Harris Andrews, coming off a good game, takes 4 intercept marks. Moving on to the next game, Sydney v Geelong. Accidentally skipped a game there. Anyway, Sydney, coming off a win over West Coast, 171 points. 205 to 34. That is just absolutely insane. But it was West Coast, so they're definitely still hanging in there for finals, but I wouldn't be saying they're going to make finals yet. 6 and 8, sitting in 13th. Geelong coming off a good win over Melbourne, sitting in 9th, 7-7. If Sydney lose this, you feel like they're just pretty much out of finals. If Geelong win it, well, they're in a really good spot. I think Geelong will take the chocolates in this one, winning by 21 points, with my Ollie's call, Patrick Dangerfield, coming back from injury, will collect 18 plus disposals. Moving on to Adelaide and North Melbourne now. This game is the first of the Saturday afternoon games. 1:45, Adelaide Oval. Adelaide 7-7, 8th. Coming off, win, bye and loss. That loss to Collingwood, if they kicked accurately, they probably would have won. That third quarter was amazing, but apart from that, they didn't have many good quarters. And they just can't kick straight against Collingwood. That's it. North Melbourne, coming off the bye. Before that, they had a loss to the Western Bulldogs. Wasn't too bad of a performance. They were definitely in it. So North Melbourne, ever since Brett Radden, they've been under Brett Radden, they have showed some improvement and some effort, but I don't think they're going to win. Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval, they just play amazing at the Adelaide Oval. I'm going to tip them by 82, with my Ollie's call, Taylor Walker, coming off a big couple of weeks, kicks a bag, and will kick at least 3 goals. Moving on to the second Saturday afternoon game, Marvel Stadium, Western Bulldogs versus Fremantle. This is going to be an interesting game. 7th v 11th. You feel like this is a really important game for both teams. Western Bulldogs 7th, 8-6. They're going okay, coming off a win over North Melbourne, which is good for them, and then the bye. It's gonna be like a tough game for the Bulldogs, really tough. But I reckon, well, Fremantle, they're coming off a good win over Essendon, so this is definitely going to be tough to decide. I'm not sure about this one. I think this is a real 50-50 game. But I think, in the end, I'm going to tip the Western Bulldogs by 34 points with my Ollie's call that both teams score less behinds than goals in quite an accurate, possibly shootout at Marvel. In good conditions, I reckon that's quite likely. Moving on. Gold Coast, Collingwood, Heritage Bank Stadium, 4:35 p.m. Saturday. This is going to be an interesting game as well. The Suns, they're looking to make the finals for the first time ever. There actually looks like they might be playing meaningful football in August. Coming off a good win over Hawthorn after a disappointing loss to Carlton. Collingwood coming off a good, close win over Adelaide. Comeback Kings, we should start calling them. Another comeback. And, yeah. So, they're still first, only on percentage though. Port Adelaide, catching up. I think I'm going to tip Collingwood by 16 with my Ollie's call that Gold Coast have 10 less inside 50s than Collingwood. Moving on to Saturday night. Essendon, Port Adelaide, MCG, 7:25 p.m. Saturday. This is going to be a relatively close game, I think. Essendon coming off a disappointing loss to Fremantle, but they're still, they're still going. So I reckon they're a good chance to even push for top four. As in, it would have been nice for them if they won that game, but they're still doing okay. And Port Adelaide coming off the bye, before that a great win over Geelong. 11 in a row now. They're just going amazingly. 12-2, sitting second, only behind Collingwood in percentage. I'm going to tip them by 22 with my Ollie's call. Ollie Wines has a great game and collects 22 disposals. Moving on to the 7th game of the round, first Sunday game, Hawthorn-Carlton. Hawthorn coming off a disappointing loss to Gold Coast. Quite a smashing in the end, actually. Carlton coming off a bye. Before that, good win over Gold Coast. This is a close game. The Hawks, as I've said a couple of times before, I think they'll be a good team this year. Well, good for what was expected. And I think they might pick up a few wins, maybe like 7-16, 8-15 win-loss record maybe. Get a few more upset wins, but I think the Blues are going to get back on track and win by 11 points. With my Ollie's call that Will Day has 23 plus disposals. Moving on to the 8th game of the round. Melbourne GWS, TIO Traeger Park, 3:20 p.m. Sunday. So just to clarify, TIO Traeger Park is in Alice Springs and TIO Stadium is in Darwin. So Gold Coast play the 2 home games in Darwin and Melbourne play the 1 home game in Alice Springs. Anyway, Melbourne 9-5, coming off a disappointing loss to Geelong where you thought they were a chance. GWS coming off a good win over Fremantle and the bye. This is going to be kind of close. Giants not really. It could be close, but the Giants need a win to stay in finals contention. I reckon Melbourne are going to win by 51 with my Ollie's call. Keziah Pickett scores 3 plus goals. Moving on to the final game of the round. Optus Stadium, 4:40 p.m. Sunday. St Kilda West Coast. Oh my God, I'm nervous for this game. So, West Coast, St Kilda are playing West Coast. My team's St Kilda, as most of you probably know already. And I'm really nervous about this game because the Saints, this is a game they would lose. They're fifth, somehow still fifth, 8-6, worst fifth place team ever. West Coast coming off a very horrific loss, dark day for the West Coast Footy Club. 1-13. Oh, I have to tip the Saints by 31, but I'm not that confident. Hopefully we can get a percentage booster, but I don't know. My Ollie's call is that Tom Barras has 17 disposals. Thanks for watching and listening to this Ollie's on the Ball tips video, and hopefully you listen to many and watch many more videos in the future. Thank you.